Greetings Boffins, welcome to the Boffin Lab. I'm Mardor Taran and this is a Nano-Guide for Ark Survival Evolved. This guide is about harvesting. This is going to be a critical aspect of your game and you need to know how to do it in order to survive. There are two basic ways of harvesting. One is using your E key to pick things up. The little hand symbol in the middle right will tell you when you're near a resource you can pick up. You can pick up stones or harvest berry bushes. Berry bushes will get you seeds, berries and fiber, and you'll need those starting out. So picking these will get you quite a lot of the critical resources at the beginning. The next resource is harvested with tools. And the tools icon in the middle right indicates that you need a tool in order to harvest it. If you don't have the tool you need, it will be crossed out as unavailable. The tool you use is important. If you want to get thatch, flint, metal or meat from your resource node, whatever it is, use the pickaxe. You'll notice you get a lot more thatch than wood hitting a tree. If you want to get wood, stone or hide from a resource, use the axe. You'll notice the difference straight away. There is one more tool for harvesting. It is the sickle, and it will harvest berry bushes for fiber, and it will harvest dinosaurs for meat. It is especially effective against saber-toothed salmon because it's one of the few ways of obtaining prime raw fish meat, which you'll make use of later on down the track when you're taming. There are other ways to harvest, and this requires taming dinosaurs. Dinosaurs of many levels harvest very different things. It depends on which dinosaur you want to use to get the best effect. Different dinosaurs have different specialities, and some don't harvest anything in particular at all. However, you should probably look at the Triceratops as your first tame. The reason is simple. This thing gathers berries faster than just about anything you can get at low levels. There are better ones, but this will start you off very well. It gathers in an area effect ahead of its head, but it does not get fiber, and it won't harvest dead animals. If you hit a tree with it, you'll get quite a decent amount of thatch and some wood now and then. However, it won't get rock, and it won't harvest any other nodes. They're useful in that they've got a bit of combat ability, and they've got a decent amount of combat carry weight. So they are a useful tool early on in the game. They're not particularly hard to tame. You don't need a perfect one. Just a low level one will do you to start off. But this will make gathering food from berries very much easier, and in particular it'll make gathering narco berries much easier, so that your next tame will be easier to do. This is the Ankylosaurus, and it's the bulldozer of Ark. This guy can break every node there is with the exception of pearls. It can harvest stone, wood, berries, metal, obsidian, crystal, oil. That makes it extremely versatile, though it does have its specialities. It is specialized in thatch, metal, flint, and does a reasonable job on an obsidian, oil and crystal. It's not so good at getting stone, but you can use it to do so. Essentially, any successful tribe has to have an Ankylosaurus. Eventually. It's an excellent tame to get. They're tough. That spiked armored body and that mace of a tail of theirs will keep them fairly well protected, especially with the armor of a saddle on them. They're worth the work of taming one. If you want stone, have a look at the Dodeicarus. The Dodeicarus is only capable of harvesting stone. It doesn't do anything else, but it does it in an exceptionally skilled way. It is the rock monster, and everybody loves them. If they're doing a stone base, you need it. If you're grinding cementing paste, you need it. It's essential to your tribe's future. There are a few dinosaurs that gather fiber, and I don't have any of them handy to show you. The Gigantopithecus, or Sasquatch, Gorilla, Yeti, whatever you'd like to call them, is a giant humanoid creature that gathers fiber when allowed to wander around on its own. You can't make it gather fiber while riding it, which is a bit of a downside. But they are pretty good at fighting if you get a decent level one, so they can be set up to protect themselves. If you take the right precautions, they can bring back so much fiber that you'll never have to pick a berry bush again. The other dinosaur that gathers fiber is the Daiyabear, and it's fairly recent. It has the advantage of not requiring much in the way of maintenance. It will gather berries as well, and meat, which lets it feed itself effectively. If you want to gather wood, there are two dinosaurs that excel at this. The Mammoth was the first to come out, but they only found in the snow regions, making them a little difficult to get hold of. They have a huge carry weight, and they're very effective. They gather berries and thatch as well as seeds, so they're not a bad dino all up. The other dinosaur that gathers wood is the giant beaver, or Castiorides. These things are exceptional. They gather wood on wander, which means you can let them out to play and bring back the goods afterwards. They will gather berries and thatch. But the important factor to realize is that thatch, wood and fiber in a Castiorides inventory weigh 1/5 of their normal weight, and stone weighs 1/2 of its normal weight, allowing a beaver, with its small size and ability to swim and maneuverability, to carry quite a lot more than a well-trained mammoth. There's one more reason to want a beaver for your dinosaur pool. When it has a saddle on it, it works as a mobile smithy. That means you can repair your armor or your equipment on the fly. There's a downside though. Of the two wood-gathering dinosaurs, the mammoth and the giant beaver, the giant beaver is considerably harder to tame, making it something that a tribe that's somewhat more established would try to grab. There are a whole lot of other dinosaurs for harvesting. Each has their specialities and downsides. Each has their tier at which they become a little bit more available to your tribe. It's a little difficult to tame an animal that you can't make a saddle for, so watch that as you level yourselves up. Though you could trade with people on the island and get a saddle from them. Essentially, getting yourself a dinosaur that harvests will increase productivity considerably. It's a lot easier than harvesting by hand. And then, using certain dinosaurs in combinations will improve things tenfold. This is a topic for another guide though, and I'll show you later on down the track. In the meantime, that's it. Have fun, keep surviving.